All right, let's talk about the one piece of technology that is absolutely everywhere right now. Generative AI. I mean, it's writing emails, it's creating art that is just mind-blowing, and it might be completely reshaping our world as we speak. So, what is it really? But before we get into the nuts and bolts, just think about this for a second. What if you could create literally anything? A picture, a song, a complex piece of code, just by describing it, just by asking for it. That amazing, almost magical idea, that's the promise at the very heart of what we're diving into today.
Okay, so let's get real and move past all the hype. For this first part, we're going to cut through all the noise, all the buzzwords, and get right down to what this technology actually is and what it does.
So what is generative AI? Well, at its core, it's a kind of artificial intelligence that doesn't just analyze information that's already there. No, it creates new stuff. We're talking about completely original content, text, images, even music and code that feels like a human made it.
And this is the key thing that makes it so different from the AI we're used to. Traditional AI, what we might call discriminative AI, is basically a sorting machine. It's fantastic at telling you if a picture is a cat or a dog. But generative AI, it goes way beyond that. It learns what a cat is so deeply that it can create a brand new picture of a cat that's never existed before, right from scratch. So the big question is, how on earth does it actually do that? It seems like magic, but it's really a process. Let's break it down in a super simple way. First things first, it all starts with data. And I mean a lot of data. These AI models are trained on just a colossal amount of text and images from across the internet. They essentially consume a huge chunk of human knowledge to learn about, well, everything, from language and art to science and coding. Now, here's the really crucial part. The AI isn't just memorizing all this stuff. It's not a copy and paste machine. It's actually learning the underlying patterns, the context, the relationships between ideas. So it doesn't just see a million photos of cats, it starts to understand the concept of a cat, the whiskers, the pointy ears, the way they move.
And then you get to the final step. It takes all that deep understanding and uses it to generate something totally new. When you give it a prompt, it's essentially playing a super advanced game of what comes next, predicting the next word in a sentence or the next pixel in an image to build an original creation based on all the patterns it's learned.
Okay, so that's the how, but why does any of this matter? Well, this is where it gets really, really exciting. Let's take a look at how this is already changing pretty much every industry you can think of. And let's start with a really big one, healthcare. The potential impact here is, honestly, it's just staggering. I mean, seriously, we're talking about speeding up the discovery of new medicines from years down to just months. You've got apps like Skin Vision that use AI to help spot skin cancer early, and scientists are even using it to design brand new protein sequences from the ground up, which could be the key to the next generation of vaccines. Now let's totally switch gears and look at the creative world, because here, this tech is blowing the doors wide open for who gets to be a creator.
Think about it. With tools like Midjourney, literally anyone can create breathtaking art just by describing what they want to see. You've got places like BuzzFeed making these infinity quizzes that are personalized for every single user. And some companies are now creating entire videos with AI-generated avatars and scripts, which just completely changes the game for content production.
All right, what about the world of business and finance? Well, in this space, it's all about making things smarter, faster, and way more efficient. This technology is an absolute beast at automating tasks that used to take people forever. Companies like Use are using it to process invoices automatically. It's being used to spot financial fraud in near real time. And you've probably already interacted with an AI chatbot from a company like Boost.ai, which provides a level of customer service that just wasn't possible before. And what about how we learn? Generative AI is getting ready to totally transform education, making it more personal and accessible for everybody. You have tools like Duolingo Max, which uses GPT-4 to act like your own personal language tutor you can chat with. We're seeing AI tutors pop up that can give one-on-one help to students who are struggling. And for teachers, oh man, platforms like Gradescope are helping to automate grading, which frees them up to do what they do best, actually teach. But, and this is the big but, with this much power, you're going to have some really tough questions. As this technology spreads, it's forcing us all to think about some very real ethical challenges.
And this quote really nails it. Yeah, these tools are amazing at having natural conversations,
but we absolutely have to understand the risks that are baked right into them.
So, for starters, the data it learns from can have human biases, and the AI can learn those too. Then you've got deepfakes and misinformation, which makes it harder than ever to know what's real online. Of course, people are worried about their jobs, especially in creative fields, and it's opened up a massive legal can of worms around copyright. Like, who owns a piece of art made by an AI? These are the huge debates happening right now.
So, after all that, you're probably thinking, okay, this is huge. Where do I even start? Well, this last part is all about giving you the keys to start your own AI journey. And honestly, getting started is way easier than you think. First, just pick a tool and play with it. Try ChatGPT for writing, Gemini for brainstorming, or Midjourney for images. Second, learn a little about prompting. The real secret is just to be super detailed and specific with what you ask for. And number 3, the most important step, just experiment. Seriously, the best way to learn is to mess around and see what kind of cool stuff you can create. Because make no mistake, this new form of intelligence is here and it's not going anywhere. You can think of it as a tool, or an assistant, or even a creative co-pilot. So the only real question left is the one you see right here. How will you partner with it?